Check, check, check. All right. Hello, everybody. Bear with us. We're just testing out the audio here. I believe we have everything squared away. I will confirm, and we'll be back in one moment. Then we'll talk about the weather. The airport, that was also a record. Area-wide, it was low to mid 80s today. So now you can start to see our cold front is moving in as we speak. So let's do this. Our cold front, it's about, you can see Orlando's dropped, so it's come in like this. Georgetown, you're starting to drop. It's about like that. That's where the front is, so it's already starting to move in. I was thinking about 10 o'clock or so for the Austin Metro, but this thing might be a little bit ahead of schedule. Here's where we had analyzed it a little bit before we started this stream. And you can see the air behind it. Look, is it colder? Of course. Dallas 55. It's in the 40s right now in Lubbock and in Amarillo. This is not an Arctic cold front. You know, it's not going to be bitter cold, but tomorrow it's going to be good for about a 20 to 25 degree drop in our high temperatures from the 80s that we had today to the 50s that we'll have in the forecast for tomorrow. And then I think the biggest impact again is going to be a couple of cold mornings. Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, both will be in the mid-30s in Austin, but likely a light freeze for many areas outside of the city. So here's our frontal timing tonight. Again, between now and 9 o'clock for the northern tier of our area, between 9 and 11 o'clock for most of our KVUE area. Again, I was thinking about 10 o'clock in Austin. It could be a little bit ahead of that based on where the front's at now. Then 11 o'clock to 1 a.m. for our southern and southeastern areas. Dry, breezy cold fronts in December and January. We have to watch them for our cedar count. Cedar was medium today for about the last week and a half. We've had Cedar, not our first big cedar spike, but anywhere from low to the high concentration. The peak of cedar season is not until the middle of January. I do not think that tomorrow will be our first big cedar surge of the season where, it's like you can see it out in the air, you can see it blowing out of the trees. I do think cedar will rebound into the high category tomorrow, so you can always find our KVUE allergy count on our KVUE app and KVUE.com whenever you would like. Mullet is also high today. Again, we'll watch that cedar count for you. So 10 o'clock, our front coming through. This is a dry front, not a drop of rain with this front. Moves through pretty quietly tonight, other than the fact that it kicks up the breeze. Tomorrow morning, though, it is going to be cloudy. Maybe a little bit of drizzle. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but it will be cloudy, a brisk north wind. It's going to be pretty chilly, temperatures in the 40s. The reason we're going to have that cloud cover tomorrow is because of something we call overrunning. So it's going to be cold tomorrow, right? We've got cold air in our forecast. However, that cold air does not go up very high in the sky. We call it shallow. So that's shallow cold air. What happens over top of the shallow cold air, that warm, humid Gulf air comes up over the cold air. That is an overrunning pattern, and that gives us these low clouds that develop. So that will be the case through the morning of tomorrow. As we get late morning into lunchtime, though, we'll start to clear things out. So I think we'll actually go back to complete sunshine by the afternoon tomorrow, but it's still going to be much cooler. Again, a 20-25 degree drop in high temperatures is likely. High temperature in Austin tomorrow, only 58 degrees. It will be 50s area wide. Very breezy as this front comes through, so the wind will start to pick up here in the next couple of hours. Then it's going to continue just all day tomorrow, especially during the afternoon. 25 to 30 mile per hour wind gusts will be a possibility, and we'll just kind of watch this area wide on our model here. So here's 11:30, front's coming down. Here's the morning tomorrow, 8 a.m., 15 to 20 mile an hour wind gusts. And then as we go through the day tomorrow, the wind just kind of continues to ramp up. So we'll have anywhere from 25 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts for the afternoon on Tuesday. We just want to remind everybody we've got burn bans in effect for most of our KVUE area. All of our counties except for Mason, Gillespie, and now Williamson County, but really everywhere tomorrow just because of the wind. Here is the fire outlook for Wednesday. I was looking for the one for Tuesday. But for tomorrow, we're going to have a little sliver of high to very high fire danger for East Austin into eastern portions of Travis County that we just want to give you a heads up on. Okay, again, the headline here is our mornings are about to get colder. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be 49 in Austin. The afternoon's only going to warm up about 10 degrees, maybe even less. Our coldest mornings are not going to start tomorrow. It's going to be Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. So as you can see, we've got 36 in the forecast Wednesday morning. We have 35 in the forecast Thursday morning. Whenever we have mid-30s in the forecast in town in Austin, many of the outlying suburbs and especially out across the hill country, a freeze is going to be likely. Then you can see Friday to Saturday, our mornings very quickly will rebound. So let's go through some of these temperatures day by day. Tonight, low 40s in the hill country. About 49 degrees in Austin, upper 40s east of I-35. Clouds will increase tonight. It becomes breezy north 10 to 15, gusting to 25. The breeze actually is going to pick up through the day tomorrow, though. Here's a closer look tonight across the metro, 49 Round Rock, Georgetown 48. So it's going to be much chillier, feeling compared to what we had this afternoon, but it's not going to be Arctic air or anything too frigid in the morning tomorrow. The big difference, though, is just going to be we're not really going to warm up much for the afternoon. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine for your Tuesday. High temperatures in the hill country. Fredericksburg and Mason, it's only about 54 degrees tomorrow. 58 in Austin, 60 in Bastrop, so low 60s east of I-35. For some of the warmest pockets, here's a closer look for the Metro and I-35 corridor, Del Valle, about 58. Kyle, 60, Wimberley, Dripping Springs, 58, Round Rock, also about 58 degrees. Here is Wednesday morning. So this is when the colder weather is going to start. Take this full for you. Look at some of these numbers across the hill country. Orlando's already had a number of freezes, as has most of the hill country this season through the late fall and now early meteorological winter. 28 degrees is in the forecast Wednesday morning in Orlando. 32, a freeze and burn it. Mason will get a freeze, 29. Fredericksburg, a freeze for you. Johnson City, Blanco, it's going to be very close, 33, 32. In town, again, those wind-protected, creek beds and river valleys and stuff like that, a freeze is likely. Then in town for Austin, 36, Georgetown, 34, San Marcos 36. You get back into some 34, 35 type numbers east of I-35. But again, you get the idea. Some of those even colder pockets that are wind protected. I think a freeze will be possible even in parts of the metro and I-35 corridor, and even for some areas east of I-35 for Wednesday morning. As you can see, we are kind of back on the temperature roller coaster, if you will. 49 degrees tomorrow morning, 58 for the afternoon high. Some low clouds in the morning, sunshine for the afternoon. I did give us a 10% rain chance tomorrow, just in case, we have a little bit of drizzle in the morning. Whenever we have that overrunning pattern I talked about, it can get damp at times. So I think it's mainly going to be dry, but a 10% just to be safe. Wednesday morning, 36, cold to start, a light freeze for some outside of Austin, 63 for the afternoon high. Thursday is going to be very similar, maybe even a little bit colder in the morning, 35 Thursday morning, 65 for the afternoon high on Thursday. Sometimes that second cold morning can actually end up being colder than the first one. The wind can die down a little bit more. It's a little forecasting trick. So we'll go 35 degrees for Thursday morning. And then starting Friday, mornings go way warmer. We'll be back up in the 50s. Afternoon high of 72. I do have a small rain chance in our forecast both Friday and Saturday. It certainly does not look like a washout, but we have a little weak boundary coming in, a 20% rain chance in the forecast. Behind that boundary, maybe a little like a smidge cooler on Sunday, 52 for the morning low, 69 for the afternoon high. Then as we go into Monday, early next week, I've got a 30% chance for storms in our forecast, maybe a slightly more promising rain chance for us. So that is what we are tracking. A couple other things that I wanted to show you here. Let's go to our drought monitor here. Obviously, we did get some rain over the weekend. Good news, but we need a lot more of it. It was an incredibly dry fall. A normal fall in Austin brings a little over 10 inches of rain. We had like 2.5 inches of rain, so it was a huge, huge deficit. And we'll be looking to make up for that through the winter. However, not holding my breath for that. We are transitioning from El Nino back to La Nina. La Nina winters tend to favor drier than normal conditions and warmer than normal conditions. Now, that does not mean for a short period of time it can't get really cold or that it's impossible to have heavy rain. It does not mean that. What it means is it kind of tilts the odds back in favor of drier than normal and warmer than normal weather. There are certainly exceptions to the rule. February 2021, that was the La Nina winter, and of course we know how cold it got then. So it can get cold, but just kind of give you an idea of what we could be in store for this winter. Honestly, just looking at the forecast, I do think we're going to have cold spells, just based on the pattern that I see now. I don't see our weather getting cold and staying cold, for several weeks. I think this is going to be kind of a roller coaster winter where you get quick shots of cold weather, but it's not real persistent, doesn't really stick around. I think the better likelihood of cold that has staying power is going to be east of Texas. So here in Texas, we'll get these little shots of cold weather. Again, it will get cold at times this winter. You can just about count on that. But what I see based on, the way we're transitioning back into La Nina and based on how the forecast has gone thus far through December, what I'm seeing in the longer range stuff, I think it's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster pattern through this winter. I want to talk a little bit more about some of the rain that we had come in over the weekend. So let me show you this Almanac map, and we'll get into our monthly rainfall. So here's where we're at with Austin, Camp Mabry, and the airport. The airport's now up close to an inch. Not bad. Austin, Camp Mabry, about 3/4 of an inch. December, not a terribly wet month, but again, based on how dry we've been through the fall, we are hoping to not just break even. We're hoping to get into a little bit of surplus so we can catch up ground here. And then you can see the rain almanac through the year. We have had 27.77 inches of rain this year. Normal. Of course, we still have about a month left, but normal at this point of the year would be 34.2. So we've got a 6.43 inch rainfall deficit. I showed you the 7-day forecast. I don't have anything coming in that is imminently going to change that. But we do have at least some small rain chances coming in late this week into this weekend, and then hopefully early next week. But again, kind of the headline today is this temperature roller coaster we're about to go on. 84 was the high today for Austin, Camp Mabry. 85 at the airport. It was a record for both of those reporting sites this morning. Was not overly chilly. It was 47 this morning at Mabry and 52 degrees this morning at the airport. Oh, one other thing I wanted to show you guys while I am thinking about it. I wanted to show you this allergy calendar since we were talking about, cedar earlier. Let me see if I can find this for you. This might take me a second to find. You know how it is. Once you get live, you're trying to find all these graphics, and they never want to show up for you. This is what I'm looking for. Our allergy calendar. So obviously we are in early December, so cedar season has begun. The real peak of cedar season is late December and especially mid-January, which is why I don't expect, a crazy cedar spike tomorrow, but a dry, breezy cold front early to mid-December, that's sure to bring in some cedar. So it's a possibility tomorrow could be our highest cedar count so far of the cedar season. That's going to be eclipsed many times, but I know that some people are super sensitive to that, so just wanted to give you a heads up. All right, one more refresher on our cold mornings coming up, and then I will let you go. We'll have our full newscast coming up on KVUE News tonight at 10 or whenever the Cowboys game ends. Trying to look over here, see how the score is doing. But cold mornings, that's the headline. Tomorrow morning, it's not going to be frigid. It's going to be in the 40s. It's just that the afternoon's not going to warm up much. And then our coldest morning is going to be Wednesday morning and Thursday morning. Thursday morning in Austin, I have 35 in the forecast. The Hill Country has already had several freezes, as have many areas, outside of Austin along the northern I-35 corridor. And even places like Fayette County have had the first freeze so far of the season, at least in isolated spots. However, Austin Camp Mabry has not had the first official freeze of the season. It's going to be close, Wednesday and Thursday. I don't know that we get there, but it is going to be close. All right, I will let you guys go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Again, we're going to make this a little bit more of a regular thing, around 7:30. Pretty much each evening, we'll try and hop on here and do kind of a more extended, laid-back look at the forecast where we can take some time and talk about the details of everything. So if you liked this, tune in again tomorrow. We'll do it again. If not, y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all for KVUE News at 10 coming up here in just a couple of hours.